The content in this podcast is for informational and educational purposes only. It is not intended to be medical advice, a diagnosis, or a treatment plan for any individual. Listening to this podcast does not establish a doctor-patient relationship. Always consult your own qualified healthcare provider before making changes to your health, medication, or lifestyle. By choosing to listen further, you acknowledge and agree to these terms.
Welcome to Feeling Good Feels Good with Dr. Tripp.
Welcome to a state of feeling good. It's how we live and how you could. Just know it's how we're all meant to be. If things are off, listen to your body. It can tell us exactly what we need. Physical, emotional, nutritional, or mentally. No need to worry, it's reached accessibly. No matter how you felt or what you've heard, well-being's for everyone, it's what you deserve. Ease and joy are yours once it's understood. No need to fear, because feeling good feels good.
Welcome into Feeling Good Feels Good. I am your host, Dr. Tripp. This is the podcast where we talk about total wellness and outright wellness. We look at wellness through four major lenses: physical health, nutritional chemical health, mindset, emotional mental health, as well as environmental health and lifestyle habit. Today we have an episode about habit. I look at this category as things that are external. What are things that are going on outside of me? What are things that I can use that are not part of my body to help my health? So who's going to benefit from today's show? Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a loop? The same habits, the same feelings, the same emotions, the same frustrations, and the same outcomes no matter how many times you try to change? What if breaking that cycle wasn't about thinking? It's about writing. If there was a tool that helped you understand yourself better, process big emotions, and make better decisions, would you use it? Even if it only took 5 to 10 minutes a day? That tool is journaling. That word might make you cringe a little bit. Maybe it's not your thing, or you already have some idea about what journaling is. You're not alone. But what if I told you it's used by athletes, therapists, emperors, veterans, and Fortune 500 CEOs to change and understand the way they think, feel, and act? In today's episode, we're going to give you a fresh perspective on journaling, practical ways to make it stick, the science behind why it works, some interesting historical facts you probably never heard of, and we'll even give you some prompts to get you started. Journaling is basically externalizing an internal experience in a safe way. It's the act of transferring thoughts, emotions, sensations, or questions from your mind to paper. This takes abstract thought from your limbic system, which is an emotional part of your brain, to your prefrontal cortex, which is the part of your brain that is responsible for high-level decision-making, rational thinking, and planning. You may hear therapists call this external processing. We're going to go through the different types of journaling and who uses each kind. When journaling, is it better to write with your hand or type on a phone or a computer? While writing it out is always good, whether it is on a phone or on your computer. There's actually been studies showing that there is more brain activity when you're writing. It activates your sensory motor, your visual, and your language centers in your brain. So your brain will be more active with handwritten journaling. Let's give a metaphor for why journaling can be more helpful than just thinking. Have you ever tried doing long division in your head? You technically could do it, but it takes way longer. It creates overstimulation. It creates fatigue, and most of the time, you're probably not going to get the answer correct or even be able to look back and check your work. Your thoughts, emotions, and sensations can be equally, if not more, complicated than long division problems. This can help support you understanding the complex layers of what you are going through. And yes, there are layers. When describing layers and steps like long division in terms of journaling, there's another analogy I really like. Think about a little kid who won't stop asking you why. We've all seen this kid. You give them an answer and they just ask why again, over and over and over again. Why are you wearing that shirt? Because it's cold out. Why? Because it's winter. Why? Because we have seasons. Why? Because the earth spins and rotates around the sun. Why? Because of gravity. So in reality, you might be wearing this shirt because of gravity. That might be the root cause of you wearing a long sleeve shirt in the wintertime. We don't actively think about this and we don't answer that way. Our answer might just be because it's cold out. So on the surface, when we are dealing with emotions, thoughts, or difficult decisions, we might just jump to that first layer, the surface level thing that we are feeling. But if we write out these same questions and reflect on what we are going through, it does help us get to deeper roots of understanding ourselves, why we act certain ways, why we make certain decisions, why certain things bother us so much, or why certain things bring us so much joy. An example might be, I have work to do. Why aren't I doing it? Because I'm procrastinating. Why? Because I don't want to do this work. Why? Because I don't enjoy it. Why? Because I'm not good at it. Why? Because it's public speaking. Why? Because I don't like public speaking. Why? Because I think there's something wrong with my voice. Why? Because somebody in 5th grade made fun of my voice when I did a presentation. So if we cut out all those steps from present to past, you might actually be procrastinating your work because somebody made fun of you in 5th grade. With that understanding, it might be easier to let it go and reflect on the current situation and the reality of what's happening. There is nothing wrong with your voice. Your voice is fine. You have all the reason to be confident in the work that you do. Journaling also helps us separate from our identity. This is known as self-distancing. Rather than identifying with everything we think and feel, when we're journaling, we can take a step back and look at these thoughts and feelings just as data, just as moments, just as feelings, just as things that happened, and not a core part of who we are. You may even start to notice patterns about certain things that are preventing you from being happy, preventing you from making decisions, preventing you from experiencing joy and peace in your life. Journaling helps us break cycles. Have you ever asked yourself, why do I do this? Why do I act this way? That is a perfect journal prompt. Take that question, write it down, and pretend you are a little kid who won't stop asking why, and interview yourself and write out your answers until you get to what feels like the core of the problem. You will know, you will have a feeling, you will have a sensation, you will understand, aha, this is where it all stems from. Without truly understanding the origins of our cycles, of our responses, of our triggers, it makes it almost impossible to change. It's like we're trying to throw at a target that we can't even see. There can be physical signs that you are stuck in a cycle as well. Common issues may be tension headaches, gut issues, jaw tension and clenching, as well as fatigue and lack of motivation. Journaling has been shown to lower cortisol, our stress hormone, to improve our immune function, to improve our immune markers. It even brings us more immunity, and there's evidence that it actually reduces the number of doctor visits people take. What's more important than the length of the journaling is the frequency. Taking 5 to 10 minutes out of your day to write. Studies have shown that this greatly improves mood and decreases stress. While journaling can help us uncover things, it doesn't always help us resolve them. Certain findings can be extremely traumatic, or as simple as somebody made fun of me in 5th grade. Uncovering these patterns and uncovering the root cause is powerful. Bringing a trusted friend, family member, or even therapist into the picture to discuss some of these more troubling findings that you've uncovered can be very, very crucial. Journaling by yourself on a regular basis is extremely helpful, but when these bigger issues come up that feel like they are too much for you to handle, if you are feeling hopelessness or extreme overwhelm, it's very important that you talk to somebody. Writing regularly allows you to actually see and look at your own thoughts, feelings, and patterns. Research shows that journaling also allows you to improve your emotional regulation. This can be a helpful tool for anyone who's having trouble with reactiveness or quick triggers. It's like shining a flashlight into your own head and taking a peek at what's going on. It separates you from your thoughts. If you've been in the mental health world, you hear all the time, you are not your thoughts. They are separate things and your thoughts are not your identity. With journaling, you take your thoughts, you put them on the paper, you separate yourself, and you can view them clearly. Journaling is not just for understanding your emotions, it can also help you with problem solving. Writing down what's going on through a difficult decision is extremely helpful. In future episodes, we're going to talk about how to write down your goals and how that actually greatly enhances your likelihood of hitting your goals. So look forward to that one. Writing actually allows you to remember things more clearly. We remember what we write down way more than what we thought. Starting journaling does not need to be complicated. You just start with 5 minutes a day. Just pull out a pen and a pad or pull out your notes app on your phone. You can start with very simple prompts. What am I grateful for today? What's my favorite season? What's my favorite food? What's my favorite childhood memory? These are tools to just begin to understand, to learn about yourself. Of course, you can go into deeper questions, but to get started, if that feels overwhelming, if that feels intimidating, just ask yourself simple questions. What's my favorite place to visit? Who is my childhood hero? What about them made me idolize them so much? And what does that say about me? These questions, endless. Gratitude journal is one of the most powerful things that you can do. It actually rewires your brain for positivity. At the beginning, we talked about being in cycles of feeling stuck. Journaling actually reverses that cycle. It creates a feedback loop of empowerment. The more you understand yourself, the more empowered you feel, which encourages you to reflect more and take more positive action, which causes you to feel more empowered, which causes you to reflect more, grow, and take positive action. So that loop that you're stuck in right now can absolutely be reversed by consistent journaling. Some of the earliest journals were found in Mesopotamia, 1300 BC. Famous historical figures like Leonardo da Vinci, Marcus Aurelius, and Anne Frank all kept detailed journals. Journaling is a common tool in CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, a very common form of therapy, and it's not a one-size-fits-all. A 2018 meta-analysis study found that journaling reduces symptoms of depression and anxiety across all diverse populations. The American Psychological Association recommends journaling as one of the top tools for a low-cost way to greatly improve your mental and emotional health. MRI studies on people who are journaling even show increased brain activity in the prefrontal cortex that we talked about earlier, allowing you to make better decisions more quickly that lead to better results. This brain activity also helps understand why people feel calmer. Dream journals and food journals are also popular journals. We will dive into those more in future episodes about sleep and food. So if you felt hesitant before, give it a try. Open a book, take a pen out, open your notes app on your phone, and just begin to write. If there's something on your mind, just ask a question about it and dive deep and see what comes out. Most of the time, we're extremely surprised about our answers. We don't even know why we feel the way that we do. Over time, you will become more aware and attuned to these patterns, but if you're just getting started, it's almost like reading a new book or watching a new movie. And this movie and book is about yourself. You get to learn and find out so many new things about yourself, and it's so accessible and so handy. If you're looking for ways to decrease stress and anxiety, improve your emotional intelligence, improve your decision making, get you out of the same cycles, if you're short on time due to a crazy schedule, a low budget for this month or this season, you absolutely can improve by practicing journaling just for 5 minutes a day at zero cost. So whether you're looking to boost creativity, move on to a new chapter, get yourself unstuck, or whatever it may be, give journaling a try. And send this to a friend or family member or somebody you care about that seems to be stuck or hesitant to try journaling, or even try journaling with a friend, a partner, a loved one, and go on this journey together so that you can both support each other. Until next time, feeling good feels